Loud exhaust systems. There's something about a roaring exhaust that makes every car enthusiast's heart race. The pops, the crackles, the raw thunder. Most of the time it comes from pulling out the muffler, the part meant to keep things quiet. But that rush of sound can come with a price. Beyond voiding warranties, it can land drivers in serious legal trouble. Many states set strict noise limits, and California takes the crown. If a car under 6,000 pounds blasts past 95 decibels, it's not just loud, it's illegal. Window tint that's too dark. Tinted windows were once just for celebrities dodging cameras, but now they're everywhere, offering privacy and relief from the sun. The catch? Go too dark, and it can actually be dangerous, especially in rain or snow when visibility is already poor. That's why every state sets its own rules on tint levels. In Alaska, for instance, front side windows must let in at least 70% of light, while back windows need 40%. Push past those limits, and drivers could easily find themselves pulled over with a ticket. Cold air intakes. When it comes to car upgrades, a cold air intake is often the first pick. It gives the engine a boost in horsepower, and let's be honest, who doesn't love extra power? But here's the catch. Many states have cracked down, making some of these systems illegal. The good news? There's a legal way around it. If the intake comes with a CARB executive order number, it's approved for use in all 50 states. Manufacturers are required to provide this with every unit they sell. Turbochargers and superchargers. Superchargers and turbochargers are popular upgrades because they pump extra air into the engine, creating serious power. But in California, the legality of turbos gets tricky. Many are banned under Vehicle Code Section 27156, and using the wrong one could mean big trouble. Luckily, there are workarounds. If the turbo has an EO number from the California Air Resources Board, you're in the clear. Sticking with an OEM turbo, the kind manufacturers install at the factory, is another safe route. Shopping locally also helps ensure compliance. Aftermarket LED and xenon HID headlights. HID and LED headlights may look flashy, but there's more to them than style. Because they're far brighter than halogens, the law often requires extras like self-leveling systems and washers to prevent blinding other drivers. Picture someone squinting through a beam, scattering off a dirty lens. Not safe at all. That's why quality matters over cheap options. Sure, people debate color temperatures online, but headlights are meant to improve vision, not cause accidents. Luckily, adjusting them is simple with just a wall, a tape measure, and patience. Neon and underglow lights. Underglow lights have become iconic thanks to the Fast and Furious films, giving cars that flashy street racer vibe. They don't add speed or power, but they sure grab attention, and that's exactly why some states have cracked down. Bright neon can distract other drivers, so rules vary across the country. Arizona allows them but limits the colors, Kansas bans flashing versions, and Michigan won't allow red or blue at all to avoid confusion with police vehicles. Wide-body kits. When wheels stick out past the body, without proper mudguards, it might look bold, but it's also a fast track to legal trouble. Rules on vehicle width vary from state to state, and in some places, even slight fender mods on daily drivers are outright banned. The real curveball comes with wide-body kits. They give cars that aggressive, race-ready stance, but they also can void crash certifications. And those certifications aren't just red tape. They're what ensure passenger safety. Without them, the car looks tougher, but becomes far riskier. Lifted suspension. In almost any American parking lot, a lifted truck is bound to stand out. These towering machines raised high with suspension and body mods are showstoppers at car meets and favorites on restoration shows. Off-road, the lift is practical, helping trucks conquer rocks and mud with ease. But on city streets, that sky-high stance feels more like steering a skyscraper on wheels. That's why states regulate bumper height, with some offering wiggle room and others keeping limits so strict that even the boldest builds must play by the rules. Very low suspension. Lowering your car's suspension might give it that sleek, sporty look and even sharpen up the handling, but it's not all smooth sailing. Go too low, and suddenly speed bumps, potholes, and uneven roads turn into costly hazards, scraping up the underside of your ride. Plus, the law isn't always on your side. In Georgia, you can't drop more than 2 inches, while New Hampshire says your car can't sit lower than the bottom of its wheels. Nitrous oxide. Nitrous oxide carries a near mythic reputation in the car scene. One push of the button, and a fast car transforms into a rocket, surging forward with explosive power. The trick lies in extra oxygen mixing with more fuel, creating a short but electrifying burst inside the engine. Unlike a supercharger's steady boost, nitrous is all about instant thrills, perfect for drag strips or private runs. But on public roads, the danger rises fast, which is why many states tightly regulate or outright ban its use. Rolling coal. Anyone who's seen a lifted diesel truck blast out a thick cloud of black smoke knows the scene. It's called rolling coal. With one switch, extra fuel hits the engine, and suddenly the road behind disappears in a dark haze. While it might look like a wild stunt, the reality is far from fun. That smoke isn't just irritating, it's toxic, dangerous, and downright illegal. The EPA cracked down hard, making it clear that rolling coal won't fly. It's pollution, plain and simple, and the law isn't playing around. Exhaust pipes without emissions equipment. These days, more drivers are hopping on the eco-friendly wave, with hybrids and EVs taking over the roads. It's a clear sign that people are rethinking the way cars pollute. The EPA has been tightening the screws, setting strict limits on what gas-powered engines can release. That means drivers who tamper with their rides, especially by removing emissions control devices for extra performance, are risking big trouble. Aftermarket parts might promise power, but they can also bring legal heat under the Clean Air Act. Radar detectors, radar, and laser jammers. Radar detectors might sound like the perfect gadget for speed lovers, warning drivers when police radar guns are aimed their way. But in Virginia and Washington, D.C., they're totally banned, and in states like Illinois, New York, and New Jersey, commercial vehicles can't use them either. Even in states where they're legal, like California and Minnesota, drivers can't mount them on the windshield. Radar jammers, which block police signals, are illegal everywhere under federal law, while laser jammers face mixed rules but are banned in many states. Front windshield tinting. Some drivers actually go as far as tinting their entire windshield, not realizing it's a major safety risk. A small strip at the top is usually fine. It even helps cut out that blinding low sun. Most states allow just the top 5 or 6 inches to be tinted, keeping the rest clear for safety. But a few states, like Colorado, Rhode Island, and North Dakota, make an exception, allowing full windshield tint if at least 70% of light still gets through. Medical exemptions also exist for those sensitive to light. Light rig on the roof of a truck. Many truck owners love decking out their rides with rooftop light rigs, giving the impression they're ready for rugged adventures, even if it's just a school run. These rigs are insanely bright, perfect for off-roading at night, but here's the catch. Some states restrict or even ban them on highways. North Carolina, for example, passed a law in 2017 making it illegal to use them while driving on state roads. The reason is simple. Those blinding lights can distract or even endanger other drivers on the road. Studded tires. Studded tires might sound like a winter driver's dream, gripping ice and snow with ease, but there is a catch. Those same metal studs that save the day on icy roads can rip asphalt to shreds once things thaw out. That's why California bans them outside snowy months. Drivers have to swap them out come spring, stash them away, and wait until autumn or risk breaking the state's car modification laws. Automatic license plate covers. Automatic license plate covers feel straight out of a spy movie. Press a button and the plate disappears like a secret gadget. It looks slick, but in reality, drivers don't install them for fun. They're usually a backup plan when trouble is expected. The problem is the law doesn't play along. Plates have to stay visible, and every state cracks down on blocking them completely. So while the cover might look cool for a moment, getting caught means fines, tickets, and a fast crash back to reality. Modified seatbelt systems. Seatbelts may not grab attention like a roaring engine, but they're the quiet lifesavers built into every ride. The danger comes when someone tampers with them. If an accident happens, insurance companies can deny the claim on the spot, leaving the driver with massive bills and zero support. Federal law is clear. Every seatbelt and restraint must remain fully functional. Messing with them isn't just illegal, it's a gamble with both safety and money, turning a simple shortcut into a life-altering mistake. Hanging item from rearview mirror. In California, even something as small as a tassel or air freshener hanging from the rearview mirror can land a driver in trouble. Under Vehicle Code 26708, nothing is allowed to block a driver's view, whether it's fuzzy dice, a parking pass, or even a religious charm. The law exists for safety, since distractions or obstructions can increase accident risks. While officers don't enforce it aggressively, getting pulled over could still mean a fine of around $25, reminding drivers that even little details matter on the road. DPF delete. A diesel particulate filter, or DPF, acts like a trash can in a diesel engine, trapping soot before it pollutes the air. The catch? It clogs quickly, especially with short trips, and needs long, hot drives to burn clean in a process called regeneration. Without that, the engine slips into limp mode, gutting power and making driving miserable. That's why some drivers turn to the risky DPF delete, removing or bypassing the filter. But with huge fines, environmental harm, and inspectors on the lookout, it's a gamble few should take.